Good morning, Foreign Minister, Honor Bob Carr. Thank you for the time to speak with us, especially for Indonesian community here in Australia. Would you mind to tell us some about your story when you are coming back from Indonesia?
I enjoyed visiting Indonesia very, very much. It's one of Australia's most important relationships, and Indonesia is doing very, very well. Indonesia's economy growing by 6% per annum. Indonesia is a robust democracy. Freedom House, a think tank in America, says that Indonesia is the most democratic nation in Asia. We've got a big aid program with Indonesia. We've got a lot of cooperation in counter-terrorism and policing. We work closely in consultation about foreign policy positions with Indonesia, and we agree with the Indonesian leadership on most things. I consult Marty Natalegawa, the Foreign Minister of Indonesia, on a regular basis. It's a very important relationship for Australia.
Okay, one more thing. Between government and government looks okay, or like, what about people to people?
It's very interesting. When I went to Indonesia and I spoke to members of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the Parliament, every one of them had studied in Australia.
Yep.
Some of them had grandchildren studying in Australia. I think the people-to-people links are very significant, and there are a lot of people-to-people links between our senior defence personnel. That's important for the future. If we understand one another and understand our approaches to security, that's an investment in stable relations.
Okay, what makes Indonesia and Australia could do something in the future?
I think there's got to be more trade and investment. I spoke to a company recently with plans to build 60 abattoirs in Indonesia. As the Indonesians get richer, there'll be more dairy and more protein in their diet, more meat in their diet, which is good for their health. And here's an Australian company doing something that fits their objective in that respect. Good for Indonesia, good for Australia, good business together.
Okay. How about the language, about Indonesian language in the school? Before is a high demand, but right now it's a decrease in Australia.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery to me. I don't know why more young Australians aren't studying Indonesia. We're having a good look at that, especially with the Asia Century report that we'll be examining as a government. To me, it's a challenge. How do you get more young people to study an Asian language? And I think we've got to work harder at that.
Okay, one other thing. What about the media? Right now, media always see Indonesia in a negative way.
Yeah, the media is out of date, thoroughly out of date on this. The stories out of Indonesia are overwhelmingly positive. Economic growth, lifting the living standards of the Indonesian people, a robust democracy. They've got multi-party elections that are fiercely fought. They've got a very free media, unrestricted media freedom. The government is committed to seeing that minority religions are able to survive without intimidation, discrimination. It's an example to the world of moderate Islam at work. It's, look, by all accounts, it's one of the world's most interesting and important countries.
Okay. One other thing. How about your perspective about Indonesian in Australia, and what could they do to promote the good relationship between Indonesia and Australia?
I think the Indonesian community in Australia has got to become more active. We need to hear more of them. And they've got to give us advice on how our two countries can work more closely together.
Foreign Minister, thank you for your time and for the short interview. I hope this is just a start for a good relationship between Indonesia and Australia, and we wish you a good future, and thank you again for your time.
My pleasure. It's always good to talk about Indonesia.
Could you say terima kasih and terima kasih?
Terima kasih.